this is the chart. How do we engage it? It's very important for all of you. It's like me going through everything that we know on how to analyze market. So it's very important that you follow everything and you write if you have to write. Now, this is the currency pair. My chart is in weekly charts. Weekly. I selected weekly chart. So the beginning of this currency is from here, which is around 2004. 2004. The beginning of this currency pair is 2004 till date. I don't want to be telling you what it has done, like uptrend or no. I'm not after that. You can all figure that out. Now, we are going to first draw key levels of support and resistance. Resistance is where the price cannot break above, and support is where the price cannot break below. The key levels of resistance and support are drawn on weekly chart, where you can see the whole of the chart at once, and these are marked by great fall. Those key levels are, you see, the price gets there and they bounce off massively. That is how you recognize these key levels. Now, for here, at this point, price cannot move further, so it's a key level. So what did the price do? Price fell to this point, and at this point also price cannot move further. What did price do? Price went up and got to this point. So those are levels. Also, price got to this point and could not move further down and bounced up. These are key levels. Price started from here, got to this point, it could not move further and bounced down. These are key levels. Now I want to start with this peak of let me just start with it so that you see is a pinpoint measurement that I do. Then you come to this, you see my cursor, you click on that trend line, you choose horizontal. For me, I like to choose this color. I've been using it for quite a while, Robin blue or something like that. And let me tick in it. I tick in the width. Let me choose this is okay for me. So I come right on top of it. Don't follow my my cross line. My plus line is not really on top of it, but I make sure that the line I'm using, that's the serrated line or fenestrated line, is right on top of that peak. Then I click, so you can see that it's actually touching it. You can see that. Let me take it backward. So we have this as the first resistance. Then if you look at this point also will be a very good resistance here, and this one. So I had to draw this one also. Let's just draw it and put it there. I pick, yeah, it's a good one, so it's there. Now if you see this point and this point also will be key levels. You can see price movement around that area. So if I click, you see this point is at least touching 3. I click, it's touching here 1, 2, and it's touching here. So that's 3. I have to look at support now. The support can be a resistance. So it's more or less like a support here. Is a resistance there, and resistance to this price here. So let me pick. I'll be looking at this as my support. This area as my support. So let me concentrate on that area. Let me pick and come there. So let me click this, so I can see it's like support here, support here, support here, and there's one line here which is support. Then it's become a resistance here and resistance here also. That's you are watching the way I'm picking my stuff. Then I can come here. So I still regard this also. Let me just make sure that it touches this area. So then I wanted to watch that is a support to this here at this point is a support, and it's also a support at this point. Then it has become resistance in the middle here and resistance here. So let's pick another one. Let me target this area here, and this area here. So this area here, there is a price made a U-turn in that area. So I click. So I have a resistance here, another resistance here. So we have support and resistance in this region too. So that's how we go on, and we have to make sure that we capture where the price is currently is. It's very important. We have to do a diligent work to capture the area the price is. So we started from up, and we are systematically going to draw our areas of what. Now I have to see this point, and these are points that I can't ignore too. So let me see how I can. Okay, I capture these three here. Now I have 1, I have 2, and I have 3. So it has captured this as well, and it has captured this one as well here. Now I'm still going further. I have this in mind, these two in mind, and let me just pick that too. So it is a support here, and a support here, a support also here, and sort of resistance around here, clusters of resistance here, maybe support here, and like resistance here, 1, 2 resistance. You can see those resistance line. Now let's see another one. Let's start with where the price started from. So let's start from where the price started from this point. Good. So it is support here. Then you can see another support at this point. We can see another support at this point. A support also at this point. A support also at this point. I want to believe you're following me. Now let's see if you can see the lows here. Let's draw another support at that lows. Okay, lows. Good. So I have a support, I have a support, clusters of support. Okay, now we can still go here before this thin line. So let's pick another that area. Good. So we have another support. We have another support for price at that area. Now see where our price is. It will be good to capture this also. Let's capture that thin line. It's very, very important to capture it. It's a support. Okay. Now in between, there are very, very important things that we must know, because this is higher time frame. You might think they are small movement, but they are not small because it's higher time frame. So it's higher time frame. I will still want to concentrate around these two. These two, they're very important to me. Let me pick the two. Good. So I think I'm picking the two. So now see this resistance line, resistance here. So it became resistance. This is actually very important resistance line. You cannot ignore it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then support here. 2. Then support at this point. Resistance here. So this is like resistance to these two. And again, so let me capture something here too. You don't want to ignore the action here and action here, and at this top tip, let's see, let's try and capture them. Good. So you can see these price bounced up here and here, price support here and support here. Everything you can cut, you can pick. You have to pick. At this point also, I don't want to ignore what happened at this level. So you pick everything that you can pick. At that level, price actually made a U-turn around this area. So I want to pick. So these and these, very important to me. What again? I can see a support here and a support around this area. everything you draw as those are key levels that you don't want to also. There are key levels that you have a greater bounce up, but when price is also consolidating, you have to recognize those area, the area of consolidation, because presently price is not making big spikes as you can see in this region, but consolidating on a higher time frame, and it's quite big pips also. I think let me just okay. I think one more. I like drawing support and resistance line because they are key to me. That also will be good. So here and here and here. Okay, so that would help me to know. Okay, there's still one more I want to draw because of we are currently at this level. So it would be nice to see these and these clusters here. I think with this, okay, price is close here. I can't ignore this also. I cannot ignore this also. It's important that I don't want to ignore this. Okay, good. So I don't want to ignore this. So price is almost at this point, before moving back upwards. So now we have all of that. So this is the first thing to do to draw support and resistance. So the areas of consolidations, you can see that there's going to be like too much of my support and resistance line because price is consolidating. And after drawing this on your chart, the next thing that we're going to do, you don't trade all this time frame. You concentrate on 2 to 3 years charts. So we are going to concentrate on 2 to 3 years chart. So let me now try to zoom in. Let me try to zoom in. I'm zooming in, and all these things are going to disappear. Zooming in now to bring out. Now we are going to months. Let's go to months. We select months. So once you select months, let it load. Let it load. Okay, loaded. So we are going to see this chart from 2018 till date, January 2018. So follow my cursor. My cursor. This is 2017. This is March. This is January 2018. This particular candle is January 2018. This is December 2018. So we are coming here. So let's pick something to demarcate. That is what I want you to be doing. No. Let me pick an horizontal line. Good. Vertical line. Good. So, and that is what I want to use. This is January 2018. Now, we have done that. Demarcated. So, we are not concentrating here. We concentrate from here to here. That is what we need to do our analysis. This is where our analysis is going to be based. Of course, a whole lot of things that happened. The list of what I wrote, we are done with the first part of it, which is drawing key support and resistance level. Now we have picked also the 2 to 3 years currency trend, which is this is what we're going to do. So we are going to now draw a trend line, and if you see, the price has been falling from this crest to this point. So price actually is doing what is trending down, and if you're going to do that, we are going to go back to weekly chart to draw our trend line. You can even do it. You can do it on a monthly. Let's select month. Okay, let's select week. Good. So this is week. So we're going to zoom out. Good. We're going to zoom out. So we're going to look at this crest. The upper limit. These are the crest from here down to this point to draw a trend line. Because the price is trending down. Price is trending down. So I'm going to select a trend line. Let me pick this color. These are the colors I use to pick my pick from this particular level. The price has to be touching on it. So yes, I take it and I'm watching. I want it to be on top of this, directly on top like that. Good. So I think that is drawn. So this is a trend line, and which means each time I expect this one to be my trend resistance, because the price actually is doing what? Is falling. So it's going to be a trend resistance. So it's a resistance to the price moving upward. That has been sorted. And you're going to see it to guide us. If we pick this spark on a monthly candle, let's see what it gives us first. Monthly candle, let's see what it gives us now. This is what it's going to give us. So that is what it's going to give us. So we want to see as the price continue to fall down. So this is already done. So we're starting from here. This is where we started from, 2018. So the trend resistance in this case has been drawn. So let's go back to week. Let's go back to week. Now going back to week, the next thing I'm going to do is to draw. Let me zoom in. Each candle here, there are spikes here. So each candle here represent activity of a week. So we are going to concentrate on these. Let's just pick 3 weeks, or we can pick all these weeks. They are very important. The price, recent times. Okay, let's start from here. We're going to start from that place. So I'm going to draw lines also, an horizontal line to divide into each week. So from here, this is 1. That's 1. So I'm dividing each to week. So I come here again on this candle, I pick. I come here again on this candle, I pick. Then I come here again on this candle to pick. Now, all the candles of the week selected. I want you to listen to me carefully. Last week candle that ended is not included. You must know that. Last week candle is not included here. So, when the market opens tomorrow evening by, let's say, 1 o'clock in the morning, now the last week summary, the candle will appear. So the last week candle is not here. So at times when you do analysis and you don't know that the last week candle is not here, you are on your own. All right. So the last week candle is not there. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to pay attention to these areas of consolidation. Next thing we want to do, let's enlarge this to draw a zone. So now if you look at this zone, this is the upper limit of the zone. Price came down to sell to this point. Price was pushed back to this point, and price could not move beyond this. So it will be interesting to see when price gets to this point and move beyond it. I hope you can see the week. The week, everything is very important. The week, there's a rejection. That's why you are seeing that week at that tip there. So I'm going to do something to draw an horizontal line, which is a resistance at that point. Let me pick another color that is different. Let me select something that is bright enough for you to see. So at that point, yes, that point is where you first see that the price cannot move up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is on. Check your mic and put it off, please. So we can see the upper limit here. Then we're going to see the lower limit. We ignore this. The lower limit recently is actually on this price. Is actually on this very important support here. So that's where the lower limit is. I'm going to draw bring this close to this point where we have this candle. I'll be drawing something. No, I don't need this. So let me take my brush and paint. Do I really want to? Yeah, let me paint. Let me paint. Let me take my brush and paint. Let me take my brush and paint. Okay, no. Let me take this and paint. Good. Let me use this to paint. Let me pick the rectangle. Good. So I'm coming on top of here. Just want to draw my zone. Pick my zone, and it's right on top of that level where you had price to this wick, on top of this wick here. So price majorly actually entered here and bounced off. So price has been below. Price also in the recent time has touched this area to bounce up. This area is very key for us to work. This area, when price gets to this zone, know that something else probably is happening, but price is below it at the moment. So from here to, we're going to draw a zone to the body, because activity actually shifted upwards. So activity, this is the first area of activity that you're going to, where you see the body, and price is like coming back down there. So let's pick this from here, from this point also. Let's pick that from that point also to let it touch the body. Good. So these are zones we are concentrating. These are zones we are concentrating. So majorly activity is between this place and this place. Where you have the wick, you can't ignore, because this wick is going to be big candles on daily basis. Daily candles are going to be big, so you don't want to ignore. But we need to do this and map out this area of activity. How many pips do we have there? We have about 185 pips. That's high consolidation. We have about 185 pips in that clear area. So the zone completely, entirely from here should be about 400, 500. Let's see. Down to that place is about 385. So there is a whole lot of consolidation for almost 2.5 months now. For about 2.5 months now. So we can see. Once these things switch off, I'm going to. So let's now go back to daily candle. I think I'm done with the first, the second, and the trend resistance, which is this, it's here now in place. Now the information we can gather, it's also very important on these candles. Before I move away, we have to confirm our trend if we are downtrend. So let's confirm our trend. What do we need to confirm the trend on weekly basis? We switch to, let's pick our EMA 200. Let's pick our EMA 200. I'm going to change this one to 200. I'm going to change that to 200. So let's see, because if the price is below it, then it's confirmed on a higher time frame. So you can see it. That's EMA 200. So we have confirmed that we are doing what? We are on a downtrend. So the EMA also is like what? A resistance here, resistance at this point, and you can see our trend line and the EMA coming together at this point. Very important for us to know that. I'm going to change it back. So we're done. We have ticked that box for EMA So the next thing we're going to do our analysis on the candle. Now, naturally it's selling, so it got to this point, they sold and they forced the price down to this area. Then they pushed it back, the buyers pushed it back because they were doing an uptrend. They pushed it back to that point, and the sellers created a zone here for price not to move. We must understand something, that the big spikes that you had here was because of news, unreasonable news. So this can happen in the market, but sooner after it happened, the structure will normalize. So the structure had normalized here, and the price, they forced it up here, and at this point they met their water low. They cannot push the price up. And if indeed this pair is still going to continue their downtrend, so we'll see price break out of this lower level over time and continue in the downtrend. So now if you see something here, if you want to draw a line like this, you can see, if you want to draw a line like this, a trend line like this, let me just try and pick something, a trend line like this. If you want to draw a trend line like this, you can see that the price is wedging more or less down. Please forgive this thing. Price is more or less wedging downward in that fashion. I just wanted to touch these areas. So you can see that the price is more or less wedging downward. These had created like a resistance to price in this zone for quite a while, until this one broke up to move up again. But we are going to see what is going to happen up here. Let me leave this line. We're going to see what this line had done, because when there is also a pullback, as you have drawn a trend line for the normal trend, for the pullback, when they are creating a wedge like this, you have to draw it also to be able to know what is going to happen to the price. Now let's switch to one. Okay, before that, they pushed it back, the sellers pushed it back, and the seller activity, the buyers also tried to force it back up here. You know, a battle and a battle. The seller took over, and here the buyers are trying to come back to this market. The buyers are trying to come back to this market, and they are below here currently. So it's like it's buying, it's going to buy, but I think the buyers are getting to the end of buying, and it will sell soon. But we'll see that more clearly as we analyze on. So like I told you, last week activity is not here, so we'll see if it cannot push price up. So let's go to daily time frame and see what we have. So let's see daily time frame and see what we have. Now this is the daily time frame. Now mark this, from here to here is 1 week, from here to here is 1 week, so from here to here is 1 week. Now the last week activity is not here, is missing. You must know that, and that is why it's going to be very difficult for anybody to say you are going to base your whatever on, okay, fair enough. Even though the last week is not reflected, you can see part of it, part of the days. By the time the last candle form, yes, you can now say, oh, it's back. Okay, now we only it remains one candle to form before the week completes, and that is going to appear. It's going to take one more candle to form, which will be the 5th one. I'm trying to admit everybody. So already this should be seen as an abnormal situation, and these are why people will lose money. You have to know how to commit your money to Forex, please. You have to know how to commit your money to Forex. These are reasons why people, you see, even if we give you high probability trade, that CO from everything that we know, look at the line I drew. Can you see? The line I drew the other time to tell you that the price is shifting backwards and that the trend wants to resume. The price is being forced down, creating a wedge. Creating a wedge to give us a clue that when the price gets to this point and breaks out, because price is not going to, price has created like upper resistance here, so we are watching and looking at what price is going to do. But this was more or less like the news between on Monday. It affected a whole lot of peers. It affected our analysis before it was corrected. So card just bought for one reason or the other, between just went up bam and got to this point, and you now have this correction. So the price is now currently selling. You can't buy this market because this market is now selling. It's selling. But how to engage it, we will see further. So now we know that the price went bullish, broke this trend resistance created for almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, and it got broken. So a lot of people would have lost money here, thinking that okay, the price did a push up here, so the price is actually going to fall from here downward. So a whole lot of would have lost some money here. How much would they have lost? Let's see. How many pips would they have lost from this point? They would have lost about 115 pips. So about 115 pips would have gone. So this is where the price is. So now we know that on weekly basis, the price actually showed buy, and from it now bought to the highest, and the wick that you saw here is the activity of the sellers. Lose trade because we don't know, we don't even have an idea of what the price is doing. We just want to we want to gel ahead, so we lose trade. Price does not just make a stupid movement and a wicked movement. Price will give us hint of what it's going to do. You see, at this point, they forced the price down. The price had been forced down, so the price was actually giving us an hint to get out. So they forced the price up again for you to get out. Again, they forced it the last time, the third time for you to get out. And by the time you are getting out here already, it was rather too late. But some people can still get out here. So the highest, so the price, all these are exit points. Exit point. In case you miss this exit point, the first point you don't know, so you are likely to miss the first exit point. But the second exit point, you should not miss it, and as well as this exit point, because I can tell you categorically that between here and here, between this in fact, for me, I would have gotten an exit point around this area, but between here and here, there should be nothing less than 20 exit points between here and here. You will see later, there is nothing less than 20 exit points, but people will not see it, and they will be open. It's not like open. Do your analysis and know where to get out. That's the most important thing. So we're going to see it. We're going to see it, how we know our exit and our entry point. We're going to see it. But price making it up here, this price was actually fair. This price was actually fair and nice to people to give this exit that is close. Very close. Let's see how close. From this point to this point, it gave you like 30 pips exit. It's enough. 30 pips exit. If you are actually buying this price, it has given you 30 pips. You are just... So, I hope we are back. Now, where are we going next? Where we are going next, this is where it's very important. We are going to the 4-hour chart. It is very, very important. 4-hour chart is very important. So we click on 4-hour chart to see what price currently is doing or is likely going to do. Now, these are 4-hour charts. These are 4-hour charts. Let me zoom out. Now, let me zoom out for us to see. The zone that I drew the other time is now what we can see here. Let me double click. So you can see the zone. The price went up this way, got here, bounced off here, got to this middle, bounced off here, and a whole lot of exit points for people that were buying. The price bounced down here, got to this point, bounced off it, forced it down to this point. You know, this should be a recent lower low. After this, a recent lower low, and price got to this point, was forced down, and something must have happened here, you know, to force the price abnormally above here. So price is actually trying to come back here, but in the 4-hour chart, price is seen to be having a bullish approach, but it's just nothing but a pullback. This is a pullback on the 4-hour chart. That you can see that candle is a pullback for now. And how do I engage? How do I engage this? Now that I know that the price is actually making it down, before anything at all, oh, okay. So let's zoom out. I mean, zoom in rather. So let's zoom in. Good. How do I engage? For me to engage this area, to know how to trade this area, there are things I'm going to talk to us about that are very, very important. I'm going to bring in... Okay. Before then, let me talk about some EMAs. We are going to focus on EMA 50 and 80. EMA 50 and 80 serves as dynamic resistance and support. Like you can see, my line here is like a resistance surprise here. But EMA 50 and 80 serves as dynamic resistance, even if you cannot see and you don't know how to draw resistance at times, to where the price is going to pull back to before it turns. Let me zoom out. Good. We're going to see what EMA is going to do. For some pairs, it is EMA 80 that actually works best. For some, it is 50 that works best. When you have this EMA on 4-hour chart, and the price is moving in a particular trend, where the price will pull back to before it continues its trend, this EMA will serve as a dynamic resistance or support. So let's look at what EMA 50 would do for this particular one. Now, in this area, see that EMA 50, where the price went up here and is like a support here, like a dynamic support here. Price went beyond it here, back here. Price actually crossed it here, and it's a support here, and price also moved above it here. You know, a small support before it broke. Then when it was going down from here, price used it as a support. Price went down, and price consolidated around it to move up, bounced up, and at this point also, price used it, because price actually was coming down. Price used it as a resistance to move down and up. hit this trend line, price was now moving around it, wrapping around it as consolidating before it broke to this point. Now it got to this point, price is now at this level. Maybe price is going to consolidate a bit, we don't know, but most likely the price is going to use this as a support, no, as a resistance to move further down. That is what I see price doing. So let's see what if EMA 80 is going to do the same thing here. It might not. Let's look at EMA 80. But for some, it's EMA 80 that works best. So you have to know which. Now, if you look at EMA 80 here, which one is better? So EMA 80, okay, maybe here it was as a resistance. No, yeah, a resistance. Price hovering around like a resistance here before they broke loose, and price just went through it, and maybe another resistance here, price around it. It didn't touch it. I think EMA 50 is more perfect here for anybody that cannot see if you had to use EMA, but I think I would prefer EMA 50 on this chart. EMA 50 will be best on this chart. These are things to confirm what the price is going to do. So the price is about crossing it down, and after it crosses it down, it's going to use it as what? As resistance to move further down. That is what we're looking. So it also confirms a change of trend. Once the price crosses it, is a change of trend. It's a change of trend, and the price is going to move down, move back upward when it pulls back, and use it as a resistance before it moves further down. That is what we are going to see around here. It's going to play out. I think I deleted something around here. I deleted 1 week off here. So, anytime you are trading, be it swing or intertrade, this is a consolidation. This is a consolidation. Anytime we are trading this way, we have to draw our trend line. If we are buying, of course, my trend line is going to sit below like this, you know, to know when price wants to cross it. And if we are selling, the price actually has to be above of it. The trend line has to be above it to know when price is going to cross it above. So now if I'm going to draw a trend line, I'm going to draw a trend line. Let's pick a trend line. I think that color is superb. So let me come to the tip of here. You come to the tip, you have to do a pinpoint measurement. You come to a tip of the first big candle that you can see. Come to the tip, I pick my trend line in that place, and I try to make sure that it touches the edge of other ones. I don't think I like that. It's not too good. It's not too good. It's not sharp enough. You have to know how to draw it. Let me select this one instead of this. Let me select this one to look at other ones. I have to try as much as and have a pinpoint. Okay, good. So we'll see how we can just touch the edge. Can touch the edge. This will be more or less this is good. This is the best we can have here. This is the best we can have here, because the price is just making a U-turn. So this is the best we can have here. This is the best we can have here. So this is EMA 50. Now How do we use our EMA 50 also to confirm if we should start selling or stop buying or enter or exit? Mark you, this is EMA.
Carry backward.
My trend line is there, and it's like this thing is doing a pullback for now. Now, I'm going to switch. Let me just say this. When the EMA 50 is crossing, if a candle forms below it, like now we are selling, if a candle closes below it on 15 minutes chart, is an early indication that the market wants to sell. But still, you cannot enter. When the price crosses below the EME and one candle closes below it on 15 minutes chart, because 15 minutes charts will give us super early entry. So if one candle, 15 minutes candle closes below it, then you can say that, oh, that will be a perfect, it's giving us a clue, but we cannot confirm yet. By the time 30 minutes candle closes under EMA 50, it is like 60 to 70% sure that that price is going to sell. Now you get your confirmation once you have 1 hour candle closing below EMA 50. We have confirmed that this market is selling. I mean, we can see that it's selling, but let's now confirm through our EMA on 15 minutes candle. So let's look at 15 minutes and see where the EMA is. Now, these are 15 minutes candle. It means that price really had made its move, has made its move to sell. So you can see that this is the first candle that closes below it. This is not the candle. This is the candle that signals the end here. So this is the first candle that closes below EMA 50. Now let's look at 30 minutes candle to confirm. Let's look at 30 minutes candle. Now at this point, this is the first 30 minutes candle that closes below it. This point. So at this point, this is the point I want to consider. Between here and here is the point I want to consider as my entry level. I'm going to do something. So we said between these two is what we are looking at. So we are looking at this area for our entry. How do we now enter? So we saw that now we have this first 30 minutes candle to close, no, 2 actually to close below it. Let's look at 1 hour. Now, when you have 1 hour candle closing below it, so this is the first 1 hour candle that closes below it, so it's already getting late. This would have been a very perfect entry for us, but it's already getting late because this candle will close here. Once it closes here, another one is open up here. So most people might miss this. What do we do that we don't miss this area? Let me do something for us. It's very important that you watch this. I'm going to be using another color. I'm going to be using another color for let me use red. Let me use red here. Let's put this one here. Good. Let's put this one here. So you see that the candle, you would have probably entered here. You would have probably entered around here because this is the first 1 hour candle that closes. Once you have this closing below it, price is already moving. So if you would enter here, how many pips would you have lost? Or would you have gained down? You would have gained about 56 pips. Okay. Now, everything you, because some people actually can enter around here. If you have entered around here, how many pips would you have gained? How many pips would you have lost if you, from here down to this point, we have missed about 32 pips. So if you had your 32 to this, you'll be having like 88. So our entry also is very important. Now see how I'm going to navigate and get to where my entry will be. I want you to listen. I'm going to change this to 4 hour. I'm going to change this to 4 hour. When market is reversing, we have to look at, okay, where has this market made the higher high and the first lower low? The market at this point is the highest of it, cannot move beyond it, because you have to be tracking it. You have to be tracking every 4 hours or every 8 hours to know where to enter. I'm going to be drawing some boxes to help us. And this is where my box is very crucial. So we're going to, the price made it up here, and the first low, is not this one. This is the first low here at the tip here. So let me draw my box for you to see. Let me draw my box for you to see. Let me pick these. So we are picking right from the top there. Now we come to this point. The lower point of it is actually here. I'm taking 4. I don't want to miss it. Good. So that's the lower point. So from this top point to the first box, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go on this top box on 15 minutes time frame. It's drawn on 4 hour time frame. Let me go to 15 minutes time frame. Now let me look for the box. The box is the box. So I'm going to find the middle of this box. I want to see how many pips from the top to the bottom of the box. So from the top to the bottom of the box, if you measure to the bottom of the box, is 69 pips. That's about 70 pips. It's like 69, 70 pips. And if you look at the price at that level is 77,150. 77,150. This level, that's where you find it. 150 at that level. So I divide that 69 or 70 to 2. It gives me 35. I add 350 to that to get my first entry point, and that will give me like 77,500. I come here to pick my line. Let me use this color. 77,500 is actually around this area. This is 77. Okay, this also is good. 499 is good. Now, see what happened. Price moved up, fell down to retest that line. This will be an entry point. This might be an entry point or exit point for anybody that is buying. This will be an exit point. Okay, so let me switch back also to 4 hour. Let me switch back to another 4 hour. Let's switch back to 4 hour. Now, that's the first box. The first box is this, which is the highest level and the first lower low. Now, we're not going to look at the second lower low, because all these ones are not lower, they are just consolidation, so we can't pick them. Now, these will mark the beginning of the first lower low here, the first lower low. So let's pick it. I'm going to use this candle. I'm going to use 1, 2, and 3 candle, because they are the same level. Like I told you, this would have been the point that some people will be entering. It might be too late. So this is the second lower low, indicating that the thing actually, because there's no form trend here, it was consolidating, so you couldn't have actually placed your sell. There's no point being an adventurous. So we pick from this point, from this top here, which is actually where the price got to. You can see it actually, that level became level of resistance that we drew on 15 minutes. So we come down to this level there to pick another. So that's the second box that tells us that the price is falling low. The price had made it more lower to that level. So what do we do again? We go to 15 minutes to draw. It's going to be a long way back, but we're going to find midway also. So let's, from top to bottom, we draw to get 44. So the midpoint is actually 22. Now our price is currently at 77,079. So if you had 22 pips to that, that will give you 77,299. 77,299. So we draw another one, 77,299. 77,299. We come back to it. Okay, it's a bit up. 77,299. Okay, I got 298. 298. Okay, so this is not bad. So this will be another good entry for anybody. This will have been another good entry, because as soon as price move down here, we expect price to also move up to pick. Did price make it up here? Price didn't. Maybe anybody could. I hope you can see my screen. We are back. We've done like 80 minutes now. We've done 80 minutes. So let me try and take this one off to see. Price actually missed this. Price missed this point, because price actually didn't retest it. It missed it by whisker. So that's why you have to continue to check. Price actually missed this point briefly. It missed it. It could have been a retest, but it missed it. So anybody could have missed it. So we are going to look for another 4 hours. Because usually you might need 3 boxes before you can confirm that, oh, your trade is going to go as planned. You might need 3 boxes. It is not recommended that anybody enters here, except you know, if you enter, you know how to get out, because nothing has been confirmed at this point. Even if you, we'll see later. Now the next lower low is actually this one. So the next one is actually this. So we are going to take that 4-hour candle just alone. I'm going to take that 4-hour candle. Let's see. From this tip here, I'm going to take this 4-hour candle to this point. That point. Now, so that's the candle. I don't want to take it down here. I'm concentrating on this candle alone to know what would have been another exit entry point. So just concentrate on my green. On 15 minutes, let's go back to 15 minutes. Let's switch back to 15. Should enter, even if you miss the first one. Now let's measure it. This is this box is actually like 52.8. So we can say 26. Yeah, 26 is good. 26 is good. So at 76712, so we had 26, and that will be 76972. So 76972. So we'll pick that 76972. Seven six 76972. 76972. Now that will be another entry. The price is almost there now, so anybody could have just entered here. You can even take it a bit down. It's almost there. Usually you can just do 4. You can add 4 more to it. So which is, we can do 970. 970. Around that area. The price could have picked you around that area. The price can still make it up, though it's selling on the 15 minutes chart. You can still get there. You can still get to that line on 15 minutes chart. So with this, we have our 3 boxes in place, and with the first box here, on 15 minutes chart, with the first box here on 15 minutes chart, so with the first box on 15 minutes chart, you can see that price actually crossed below EMA 50 here, to signal an early entry. But it's never good to enter at this point. It's never good. So you have to wait for 30 minutes before you can say, oh, I think it's looking like I can enter. So let's look at 30 minutes. Good. So on 30 minutes, on 30 minutes, on 30 minutes, price came back there and went back in. So it does not make any sense for anybody to say, oh, maybe it's reversing or it wants to change trend. So price touched it on 30 minutes, went back in, and price was doing consolidation around it. So there is no signal from here to this point to enter into this trade on 30 minutes. If you are doing card JPY, there is no signal for you to enter it. Now, the first signal that anybody could have got is this. Seeing this candle crossed above EMA 50 on 30 minutes. This is the first candle. So the second box would have given a signal. Another way of engaging it, once you have the second box had given you a signal here, anybody could even draw the lower lows here where you had some of these at this point confluence here. You can even place your entry at the top here instead of this point, because this candle had confirmed that the price is making it further down. Now let's look at it on 1 hour, which is the final confirmation that the trend actually had changed on 1 hour. So on 1 hour, if you look at 1 hour, there is no signal here to enter. So this is the first signal. The second box also had given us what? A go ahead. So if with the second candle giving us a go ahead here on 1 hour, on the second box rather, the second box, so you can see 1 hour here. Let me zoom out. Now the second box, we have 1 hour candle closing below it. So this is the confirmation that you need. There's the confirmation that you need, and all, if anybody could have done anything, because the price is still going to go, you know, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, because you need, when price move below it, you have your confirmation here, price move below it, you will need this to pull back. You will need this pullback to catch you in. So you might miss your entry here. So most of the time it's good to get the middle. Well, if price gets to the middle, if in case it does not get to the middle, you look for the lower level of the first candle of the first box if it falls within the range. So this lower level, like I drew the other time, where price first touched, the price is going to use them as what? They are support on 15 minutes on 1 hour here. So they are going to become also resistance, because price is pushing down. So they got here, trigger you in to do a further. After 1 hour candle had confirmed, usually the movement is very sharp. Bam, it's going to move. So this would have been a very good point to enter, which is not too bad for anybody, and that would have fetched you from here to this level, which is about 68 pips, and you would have lost this. You would have only lost 29 pips, less than 30 pips, which is okay, almost like double you have gained. And how do I place my stop loss once I see price move in this fashion? Because the price, you need the third box to form and form before you place your final stop loss. Or because initially you might put your stop loss well above this level, so I can now move my stop loss just on top of this box. That is what I would do. Oh, this box is there. Let me shift to 4 hours so that we'll see how to place our stop. This is the second box. This one market already is moving. Are you following me? Please, somebody is talking. So market already is moving, big time movement. So how do I place my initial stop loss? It was at the second box, of course, that I got my entry. If I want to put stop loss, so at first, maybe to play safe, at first I can, this is the box touching this edge here, so I can just come, there is one candle here, I can just put my stop loss at first on top of that candle. Now as the third box forms, this one, it formed here, I have to put my stop loss on top of this box here. If the fourth box forms, I'm moving my stop loss again on top here. As the boxes are forming, I'm also getting my stop loss down. That is how to shift your stop loss, just on top of the box. But at this point, you can't move. If the price gets to this point, I know that something else is happening. If it gets to this point and get to this area, I'll be looking for exit. Because the price had gone beyond the first box, getting close to this point, there's no point. The markets are reversed. If it gets to this, in fact, by the time the price or the candle gets to the tip of the second box, there's no point being in the market. Just leave the market. And by that time also, it would have crossed well the trend line here. Now, let's just continue to see. Now on 4 hour, so if you are waiting for the 4 hour candle to cross and to close below EMA 50, market would have moved more than 150 pips before you realize it. Market would have moved more than 50 pips before you realize it. Now, the way we enter is also the way we plan our exit. The way we enter the market is also the way we plan our exit. Now, if I'm doing this market here and I'm trending, what do? I come here. First, I have to draw my trend line. I'm teaching us. I hope you are watching. I want to draw my trend line. Let me pick the edge of a candle. I'm picking that edge of a candle. I want it to touch. I want you to touch. Good. So at least it has touched this candle. It has touched, maybe the first few candles we'll see is these and these two. So once you work on this candle, other ones will fall in place. Now that's the way I want to draw. So maybe the candle, I just entered the game around there, the market around there to do the trade, and it's going. Now you can see that the trend was broken here. The first box was had a point where the trend was broken, and the market was fair enough to do a whole lot of consolidation before moving. And that is what NZD, I mean Euro NZD is doing for now. So we are not going to trade Euro NZD until we are sure. Euro US NZD USD is in place. I think the candle had closed like 1 hour candle has closed below it, so that one is good. But for Euro NZD, we should just wait some more because it can actually still fall. It's consolidating, but it can still fall. Now, so the way we enter is the way we are going to plan our exit. How do we exit here? In case you don't know how to do technical analysis like the way we do it, okay? So once you see that the market actually moved to this point, the highest level, and it got to this point, first draw your box. Wait if the market is going to go higher. If the market goes higher, the market is still trending. So you don't have to do anything. So the market has made this move. And all of a sudden, is this move that you saw. The market actually just went low. So this is where you first have to draw your second box. This is where you have to draw your second box. You come here, you place your second box here. This is where I have to place my second box. So once I draw my second box, I'm looking for an exit because clearly the candle had formed completely outside of here. It's better for me to get out of the trade and watch again if the trade wants to continue to move or not. The candle is completely out of here and had given me enough to still have the best. So what do? What I have to do at this point is to measure. I can measure it also. Let me use my 4 hour. Usually I do my measurement on 15. So this is like, because it's more pinpoint accurate, this is like 38 pips. I can look for the half of that is, let's say 38. That's 19. I can look for 20. I can look because market is moving downward, so I can count 20. Or let's say 19. Let me do 19. So I'm going to do 19 to where the price is. I'm going to do 19 to where the price is. Price is at 77,150. So if I had 19 to that, that would be 34. 77340. So I'm going to look for 77340. I'm going to look for 77340. 77340. Let me pick another color for you to see that. 77340. 77340. This is 77340. This is where I would have exited. This is where I would have exited. I would have exited here. The price actually got to this point. This thing fell out, and it's the first low. It's completely outside my trend line. I want to get out here. So if I get out here, I would have saved. Furthermore, I would have saved maybe I would only lose about I will only lose about 50 pips up there. But if I want to confirm and use my EMA 50, let's look at EMA 50 at 15 minutes to see where it is. EMA at 15 minutes to see where it is. on that chart. Yeah, so that's the second box. So EMA 15. Okay, because I want to see EMA 50 crossed below it. So now this is a 15-minute candle that has crossed below it, telling me I need to exit, and I want to exit here. Now if I want to confirm with 30 minutes candle, which is fair enough for me to just get out. The 30 minutes candle had not formed. So, but ticking my boxes, I know this thing is completely out of here. So, it will still give me an opportunity, because the 30 minutes candle, this is the first candle that crossed below it. So, if I drill something around here, around this point, and the price still went up here to get me out, it's not too bad. So let's see what it would have given us if I waited some more, but it would be foolish anyway. If I waited some more, to get out, let's see. I'm just trying to take you through all these things. If I waited some more to get out, then I'll be thinking of this particular candle. So these two candles will be another thing to consider. So let's pick them. Well, this candle would not have even helped me, because it's a bit upper. But I think that the price is actually still going to go up again. So this candle is not going to help me. This would have been the best. The first 4 hours outside it would have been the best to get out. Maybe what anybody can just do is to now put your exit at the upper limit of that. In case you now mix it, you can put it at the upper limit of this first box that the price probably is going to get there. Maybe like 25, a quarter of it, 25% of it. If it's we said it's what, so that you don't lose too much. We said it was like 38. So a quarter of 38 divided by 4 will give us maybe about 15. About a quarter of 38 will give us what? A quarter of 40, let's say about 30. Okay, so let's look at 30. 30 at this level, that's 177,144 plus 30 will give us 774,444. So if I want to do that, 773,444 77444, maybe around here, 77344. Maybe around here, yes. So around here would have also been perfect. So to get out, if you just a quarter down, yeah, because you want to get out, so it will be perfect for you to actually get out of here. But in an attempt when the price had moved down and you want to be caught, you go for the half midway or the lower level of the former price. So this would have been another way or exit point for you, and you would have saved further about maybe 10 pips. About 10 pips. I hope this is clear to us all. Now, let's engage this particular, the current trade here. If anybody wants to enter this trade, this point would have been a perfect point to enter, because you can see that the price actually made it up to that point of this box, the midway of this box, and probably trigger you in, and you can adjust it a bit down to allow you in. So would have been a good point to actually enter this trade to move further down. But look at this is actually as if it's getting outside of here. It's early to tell. You have to look at the 50 is right on top of it, so I won't be hasty to say I want to close this trade. It will be too early to say you want to close this trade. At least the price had not gotten to a quarter of the box up here. You know, if you measure, divide it to 4, the top quarter, the price has not gotten there. There's no point saying you want to close this trade. Another thing you could do is now use your EMA 80. Let's try and use 80. I said 80 is not good, so don't let me use 80. So let me now use my own pitch cash. Pitch cash. I will teach you pitch cash in a minute. Let me use my pitch cash. So this is my pitch cash. My pitch cash in blue. That's EMA 5 in blue. So the price is still down, crossing my 21 down. So it's still selling. So I won't be hasty, you know. But if anybody wants to probably use this one to enter on 4-hour trade, you would have missed a whole lot of pips, because what we tell ourselves is that if the price is still above here, it's still buying. But the price has been selling up here. So you can see the way we marry different indicators to help us select how to enter trade. So if we had entered trade with EMA at 1 hour, let's see what it is going to give us on, because price is consolidating. Let's see what it's going to give us on 1 hour. So on 1 hour too, now the price is now on 1 hour, the price is below it, which means that it is selling. Now the price had not crossed my EMA 21, so the price is still below it. So the price is using EMA 21 here and 80 as resistance. Let me zoom out and see what my own will look like here, what we did here the other time. So the price was buying, so you can see my EMA completely under it to tell us that the price actually has been buying. So the price is above and the EMA 21 is below. So a pushback or a pullback here is not touching it, is completely off it. So it's good to continue to buy. And at this point, you now add a crossover of candles, because you have to look at candles crossing it. So by the time candle crosses completely EMA 21, you might be thinking of, there is a complete reversal. So EMA 21 is not going to give you signal here, but the box already has given you signal, because the EMA 21 is going to give you signal at this point. The box had given you signal to exit at this point. And at this point of consolidation, EMA 21 also had not given you signal. And at this point, it says it's still buying. So you can see how confusing your EMA can be at times. It's still buying. But meanwhile, it's at this point that we want to place our entry. The other time that I showed you. We have already entered the market. Oh God. We have already entered the market when the EMA has not given us a go ahead. See, we entered the market at this point. We used this box, the second box, to enter the market, but the EMA had not given us go ahead. EMA is giving us a go ahead. This is 1 hour self. EMA is giving us a go ahead at this box. It will get already too late. You will not. You might not even catch it. It will be too late for you to actually enter, because it's at this point that the price had crossed. You won't see this move, but the box also will help you. And now to confirm the pullback is why I had to now bring my alligator, which is pit cash indicator, into it to see that number one, the price is still below it as resistance here. So there's no point closing your trade. So we still have to watch for what price is going to do. And that brings me to the end of this trading session. If you have questions, you can unmute your microphone and ask me a question, please. If you have. Okay, if you have, before I give you my own composition of pit cash indicator. Setting on your alligator.
Yeah.
This is what the setting is going to look like. You are going to select for your jaw 40. 40 works as EMA 80, which is the green. Okay. Now the length, the teeth length is actually works like EMA 21. So you're going to select 11. So for your jaw length, you
11.
select 40.
Yeah.
And for your teeth length, you select 11. So 11 is like 21.
Yeah.
It's 21 actually on it, and the 40 jaw length is 80 EMA.
Is it 80? Yeah.
Yes, and the 5 is just the price. So if you want to see the offset, for instance, let me pick the jaw. Let me look at the style. The inputs rather. So if you pick the, okay, good.
Okay.
So the offset of everything, offset of the jaw is 0.
Yeah.
Can you see? Jaw length is 40.
Yeah.
Jaw offset is 0. Now teeth length is 11. Teeth offset is 0. The lip length is 5. My lip offset is 1. I had to carefully choose that for the price to lead, because the price is leading at the offset of 1.
Okay.
So I hope we get that. My jaw is 40, which is 80. So if you put EMA 80, it will fall exactly on my 40. And if you put EMA 21, it's going to fall on my 11. This is like just using one indicator and putting 3 on top of 1.
Yeah.
That's what I've done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me close this.
Okay.
Any other questions? What I've done is just to do my analysis first. Bring in my boxes. How I use my EMA 50. Then how I do so many confirmation. Do you understand? That is what I've done. And another thing I've not done here is to analyze where this price can actually get to. So I didn't do that here. So if I want to do that, where the price can get to, because I've confirmed that the price now is on a bearish trend, I've shown you how to do entries and exits. In case nobody is even watching, or the price is not going to do what is analyzed to do, so we can still plan our exit or entry. At times we give entry, the price will not get there, so you have to reanalyze and look at what the price are doing. The price will give you the clue of where to enter, or
Yeah.
give you the clue where to exit. And all these things that you saw now that we did, can you see there how many of them to plan our entries and exits?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's zoom out to see what I would have thought the price would do. Now, when price is making move and is moving down, if you want to take your TP, this point, which unfortunately, which incidentally has fell on what the box also gave me. If you can still hear me, please talk to me.
I'm here. Can you?
You are not making use of your microphone, please. I can't hear you.
I'm here.
Okay, good.
Can you-
Okay, good. So incidentally, the confluence of price here and at this point will be my TP1. I had to look at what the price had done. So the resistance here and resistance here will be my TPs. Because when you are moving down, you have to look at resistance. If you are going up, you have to look at support. Sorry, if you are buying, you have to look at resistance and support. Then if you are coming down, you have to look at all these levels. So this will be my first point of exit as TP1. And here is very crucial also as my TP2. One, you can see you know how to enter a trade from what I did here. But how to select my TP is another thing entirely. Because you can't continue to wait endlessly until it's going to turn back. But there are things you can pick to know where your TP is going to fall. Now, we told you that you can see this area, price made it up to here, price made it up to this point, this level, and you can see it as what? As support here. So this is an important price line to do my first TP. My second TP now, look at these key levels of support and resistance here that I drew the other time. See, it was respected here, and it also became like a support here, a resistance here, a support here. Before you can say something is important, before you can say resistance and support are important, it must have served in recent times support, both support and as resistance. Like this price line here was a resistance here, a resistance here, a resistance here, and a support at this point. This other one is a resistance here, a support at this point, resistance at this point, support at this point, and the resistance at this point. This will be another level you can exit, which is your TP2. Now to pick your TP3, you have to come and look at this edge of this line here as your TP3. You know, it was more or less a confluence of what? Support here, a support here, a resistance here, also support here, support here. So this will be your TP3. So we have one TP1, TP2, and TP3. And if I want to do more, then I will come here and pick my TP4 at this level. So you can see price in this area, in this area, in this area. But because before you can do your TP4, you have to understand what exactly the price is doing. So the price most likely, from what I can see, will get to TP1, 2, and 3. 4. It depends on what you are able to see. How do you see that? You might have to zoom again. So when you zoom like this, so when you zoom like this, This is where we have a consolidation zone. So the price actually has been making a downward movement. So I should think that price should move further down. But since the price had broken, maybe from news or whatever, up to this point, the safest thing anybody would have done is to confine yourself to TP2 and TP3. I don't want to come here now. Just this one, and you watch for what the price is going to do. So, any other question? Questions, please. Tomorrow, if you want us to look at NZD card, yes, we're going to go over NZD card together, like we did today. At least that also will refresh you based on what I've taught you. I went through the EMA, all the EMAs 250, EMA 80, EMA 21. I went through my pitch cash indicator, then the golden rules of EMA when it crosses, the candle crossing EMA 50 at 15, 30 minutes and 1 hour, and how to use our treasure boxes to plan exit and entry with your trend line. So I think we covered a whole lot of stuff today. So in case there is no other question, let me go to the ones that we are doing, which is NZD USD, NZD USD, NZD USD. Now, see NZD USD. We are on this trade. My boxes are not there already, but we are already on this trade. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? We're already on this trade. Now, this trend line, the trade broke out of it. I think we did this trade. Yes, we did. We bought this trade to this point and we exited. Now, we had consolidation of almost 1-2 days before this formation. So, we're already on this trade. And if you look at EMA at 1 hour, EMA 50 at 1 hour, you can see at 1 hour the price is actually below it. So we are having a pullback at the moment. So if you check at 4 hour, it's still above it. So 4 hour couldn't have helped you because we have entered this trade so early. So 1 hour had confirmed that we are in the trade. And we are early in this trade already. So we are selling it. Now, drawing boxes here to plan entry of that trade, because we are so early in it. Still, I think we've done like 40 pips set. So we are so early in it. Now, if anybody had want to draw anything, if you have been getting your box at this first eye, that the price could not move, and what is this? Getting the box at this eye, and at that point, that would have been my first box. So, and my second box would have been, nothing had gone lower than this line except this. So, my second box would have been a combination of from here down to this. I have to look at the wick. Good. So my second box would have been this for this trade that we are doing. Of course, you can see that another box, another lower low here, between here and here, had formed, which is the third box. Which is the third box between here and no, not that one. I want to pick this between here and this one. I want to get to the tip of it. Good. So that will be the third box. Now, for anybody that has not joined this trade, we'll see how to enter it. So all I want to do first is to enlarge. Let me look at 15 minutes. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. So that's the 3 boxes. Good. So I want to measure. I come to the edge of this one. 34 also. That's like 17. So at 6808 plus 17. 6808 plus 170 will give me 8 7 9 60978. So I look for 60978. 60977. This is okay. All right. So we have 3 points of action. Now we have 3 points of action, which is 1, which is 2, and which is 3. You can see all confluence of price around those areas I picked. Price even touched it here. Price around here. And price around here. So if I had wanted to trade this trade, I switch to my 30. So if I want to switch here, switch into my 30 to confirm, I have to first enlarge to know if I have a signal to enter. So this is the first signal. This is the first signal for me to enter this trade. Because 30 had formed below EMA, but I need to watch and wait for the second box. Do you understand me? So the second box is very, very important. So at the second box also, I can see that price also, we have them below it. So with the second box, I would have drawn this and planned this as my entry. So I could have planned this as my entry. If the price is above me, I will just use it as sell stop. If the price is below me, as in this case, because if the price had moved like this, I would have planned it as what? Sell limit. The price come there. Because the price had gone down, will now pick me as sell limit. Do you understand now? As sell limit. So, now, the price, I don't expect price to come here because the third box had formed. The worst is price to reach where it reached, or test this. I must have drew this for one thing or the other in the past, or get to this point and bounce off. That's what I expect. Now, on 1 hour to confirm if our trade is in gear, so we would have entered the trade at this point, which is 61125. Would have entered that trade at that point, 61125. And the only thing would have missed, how many pips would you have missed? You never can know where it's going to turn. So the top here is not for you. So you only have missed about 45 pips. It's not bad. It's not bad. And that the price is here now, I can put my stop loss just on top of this box, of this first box, because price is here. I can put my stop loss on top of this box, just on top of it. Now on 1 hour, so at the second box here, you can see it's completely below EMA 50. So we are good to sell these currency pairs. Now to now draw a trend line, I'm using it because I've not done all of this before entering this trade. I only used boxes and my analysis. Now to draw my trend line on top of this trade, so what I would do is now look for this as an edge, the one here. Okay, the one here is not bad. That's the edge. So I'll just be watching for this. If I have bigger candles, I might ignore and I might draw another one if I have bigger candles. But this is what I'm going to make use of now and see how price is going to cross. So let's see that on one hour. Let's see that on 1 hour candle. My trend line. So you can see on 1 hour candle that my trend line more or less has formed a trend resistance to price at this level, at this level, at this level, and at this level. So the price is going to make a U-turn to respect this trend resistance and to turn back, or just get to this point, midpoint, and turn back. That is what I will expect. And from next week, we are going to see big candles forming to declare their intention to shoot their arrow down. So, and my stop loss is going to be just above here, or you can still. So it's very interesting. Good. So price made it up here and bounced back. You can see that the former trend I drew, see, now see the former trend I drew. When we were buying this is a trend I drew. Another one. So another thing you could have done really is to duplicate. Assuming I want to take this one off. See, let me take this one to the side. And let's see how this one is going to play out. Let me see how this one is going to play out. So you can see how that also will play out, because I drew this one here and had to move it. So let's see how it's going to play out. I think it's also playing out nicely. In fact, it will be more perfect. It will be more perfect since I'd used it in the past. Can you see? It will be more perfect to use it. Let's look at it on 1 hour. So on 1 hour, it's a bit far off. It's a bit far off on 1 hour, but let me try and move it in a bit. I think this will look like it. This will look like it. So I can leave this one because I'd used it in the past. I can leave this. I can leave this one and use. I've used it in the past for my analysis. And it served me. So why not use it again? Let me delete this one. It served me. It's not ready at all. So it's still consolidating. I expect it to, but it could actually still
Okay.
Buy. It could still buy this Euro NZD. Why do I think it will buy? Let me see. Let me look at my analysis. Why I think Euro NZD might still buy. The normal trend is, let's look at the normal trend of Euro NZD on weekly analysis. Okay, is actually buying. So you can see, let's look at the month. So the 3 years, you can see that it's actually buying. Euro NZD is actually buying. So this is trend support. The trend support is the one here. Let me remove this. So this is the trend support in yellow. That one is there. You can see this buy on the month. So let's go to week. Now this is what is happening. So I had to draw this. This is trend support. This is now consolidation support. I expect this pair to continue to buy. So drawing my consolidation support means that the price might not make it below this consolidation support, or sorry, pullback support to move further up. That's the meaning. So this is what this one is doing there. Let's now zoom. So there's tendency for it to buy. So it has sold. Now this current week is like it wants to buy. So you can see the change. It sold, got to this point now. This is last week. You're going to have another one forming outside here by tomorrow evening. Night. Let's look at day. Euro NZD by day. So this is day. So on day, this is okay. This was not visible. So I drew this one. Okay, we saw it. So it was actually as if it was moving down. It first did some movement down, but it's gone up. Now if you look up here, the sellers seems to have forced the price has not been able to move beyond here. Okay, so the sellers had used this as ceiling, this black line as ceiling for a long time. This is on daily basis. This is daily candle. They had used this ceiling, the black, which is 82782 resistance for a while. They had used it from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for about 6 weeks. And of course, we know that there is tendency for it to buy. So now we expect it. We are thinking that it's probably going to buy here, but watching this trend here, we want to see price still get to this zone before it turns back, because they might not be done yet, since there's just recent movement or momentum downward. So, and there is in this zone, NZD is still selling it to this zone. So we'll still expect price at least in this region or this region before a turn back. So we have to be very careful to buy NZD. That was one of the reasons why I felt we should just delete it. That was why I felt we should just delete it. It's consolidating at this moment, but there is more tendency for it to still come down, except if there's a gradual shift up of the momentum upwards and they get to this point to break this level, then we now know that they want to resume the normal upward trend. But for now, that is not what I'm seeing. They just got here and the seller forced the price back down. So they are not down, they are not done. But the sellers cannot go beyond this. So we have to wait patiently for the formation on Euro NZD. So currently they are consolidating. But I think after this consolidation, they are going to sell more, not buy. This will be a wrong call. This will be a wrong call. So we have to continue. So the more we see formation downwards, this is a new level down. We need the third one to confirm the price is going further down. So I had to delete it. Further questions before we call it a day? I think we've done enough today.